Okay, I'm all set to rappel. I've checked my harness, my anchor, and my device. Look down, ready to go. Now, if I drag my Prussik and I get hit by a rock or something, then my Prussik knot bites, right? So I got no slack here at all. My Prussik knot bites. The only problem is, if I'm in a free hanging situation, it's really hard to get this unloaded again, right? But if I'm in a situation where I can get my feet on the rock, maybe I can unload it, pull a little bit of rope up, break open the Prussik, bring it down, straighten it up, and then I can go back and rappel. Okay, what's our other option? Well, you can put the Prussik below the device, down here, underneath it. And that has its ups and its downs, no pun intended. You can use the same length Prussik here, or you can use what a lot of experienced climbers and almost all guides that I know carry. It's what they call a personal Prussik, or a PP, which I never did like that name, but that's what they call it. And it's quite a bit shorter. It's just a Prussik, say this length here. And they'll hook the Prussik underneath the belay device. So I'll come in, you can have a little look. There we go. So they'll go girth hitch, 2-wrap Prussik, 3-wrap Prussik. All right. Then tie the Euro death knot or an overhand with the 2 strands. Now take carabiner, clip it to your leg loop, clip it above the Euro death knot so you have the Prussik. Put the Prussik in your hand. Now you can just hold on to the Prussik below the belay device. The advantage of this is that the Prussik grabs the rope and you have your belay device, which provides most of the friction above the Prussik. So you're not hanging off the Prussik. The Prussik isn't biting like an alligator on a zebra sort of thing. I don't know what kind of analogy that is. But it's just sort of gripping it, and the belay device is doing the stopping. So when it comes time to move again, all you have to do is give the Prussik a little shake and you're back and rappelling. The real problem here is, though, that people make the Prussik, when they put it here, too long. And if it's too long, the Prussik will play up against the bottom of the belay device and it won't bite. So you have to be really careful to keep the Prussik tie-in point and the Prussik short enough so that it doesn't bite up against the belay device. I hope that makes sense. If not, give this a try though. Like, don't just go out and start doing this. Go to a nice safe crag or your local climbing gym and play with this stuff, okay? So don't just like throw yourself out on the biggest, meanest mountain in the world and then try and figure all this stuff out. All this stuff has to be ingrained if you're in a mountaineering scenario, because quite often when you're using it, you're exhausted, you're tired, and you're not thinking very well. And if you're in mountaineering and you're exhausted and tired, well, obviously you haven't been thinking very well in the first place. So let's give it a go. And so here, away we go. Now if I let go of the rope, my Prussik bites. Pretty solid as anything. But when it comes time for me to rappel again, I can just slip the Prussik in and it moves. I'm not like the other one that's biting onto the rope 100%. Okay, I hope that makes sense, you guys. That's part of it. and we'll talk about, let's go to the climbing shop, and we'll talk to the guys about rappel devices, because I think that was a big issue too, with a few accidents. So hopefully this makes sense.